Good morning, honey. Good morning, my Shade Gang. This is your boy, the King of Shade, coming to you live on this beautiful Saturday morning for a quick conversation on the passing of the world-renowned relationship expert, Mr. Kevin Samuels. Child, Kevin Samuels passed on Thursday, honey, and the world has been shook into its core, honey. A division has been created between Kevin Samuels fans and supporters and Kevin Samuels victims. And let me tell y'all, honey, let me break it down, honey. Okay. Kevin Samuels passed on Thursday, as I said, and so, the reactions from the people are split because his fans and supporters are heartbroken, they're sad, they're angry that he passed away, they're hurt that he passed away. They can't believe he's gone. They're singing his praises, saying how amazing he was and how they enjoyed what he was saying, how he was speaking real shit about women, about relationships, and how much of a genius he was, and how much they adored him, and all this and all that. And then you have the victims of Kevin Samuels, who are like, you know, okay, he's dead, good riddance, karma. That's his karma. He got what he deserved. He put out all this negative energy out of the universe, and it came back on him. He died the way he told that one fat black girl on the show that he called Fat and Black that she would die alone, with the heart attack. And the girl he was talking about was Lizzo. He told Lizzo this stuff. A lot of those things were said about his passing. And so his fans and supporters are angry because his victims are not sad. They're not crying. They're not singing his praises. They're not empathetic. They're not, emotionally, shaken to the core about his passing. And I find it very weird because you can't tell a victim that they're supposed to be sad because their abuser is dead. That is the most fucked up thing to ever request of any victim. Like the most fucked up thing. And I'm gonna tell y'all in my comments section on my Instagram, because I made a post about this shit yesterday. A very brilliant post I might add, honey. And I said this, and I quote: Kevin Samuels passing is unfortunate, but woo child, it has brought out the weirdness in people. People mad at the women that Kevin disrespected and violated publicly for not showing empathy towards him because he passed. They are not required to be empathetic and show compassion to a man who didn't show them any because y'all want them to. They have the right to feel how they feel. And I quote. And so I made that post and my comment section was lit up, honey. I mean, lit up. By the people, honey, his supporters, honey, coming in my comment section talking about, oh, they have the right to feel how they feel, but I have the right to my opinions also. I feel it is wrong to celebrate death. And this was said by my girl, Entertainment T Uncut. And then I have this individual named Mark underscore James underscore Saint underscore Patrick, who, honey, is angry that Kevin is dead, baby. When I tell you this man is angry, like he's very angry, upset that people are not sad that the man is dead. Like he's very pressed. And he said, one day your eyes will be opened. And he said, all actions including listening to him, reading his comments, or going live with him are all choices. I don't believe in church or Christianity, so you know what I don't do. I don't go to places where they can affect me. You know what this means. It means I don't complain about what they do. Newsflash, the women that are hurt, disappointed, or disrespected went to his page regularly, just like the women who come to my page. You have said this. You don't have to follow Mark, James, St. Patrick. You choose to. I understand you want to be on the side of women and shelter their feelings. However, you have to acknowledge that their emotions will not be in question if one, it didn't apply. Two, they didn't go. Three, women were really getting the results they said they were getting, or four, they actually listened and it didn't work. Now, one of those is true for whichever person is true for, but it's supposed wasn't. It isn't one size fits all. And he said again on my Instagram, he made another comment. He said he said click the link, and they did. They heard what he did to others, and they choose to click, and then wanted something different. That's the melody of it all. How can you blame the person who says I'm going to bite you for biting people? And I said to him, you sound crazy. Nobody chooses to be disrespected and humiliated. And then he said, if you choose to go in a boxing ring, you are choosing to get hit. What's the difference in clicking the link? He treats men and women both equally, but I'm sure you never watched videos that included both genders, which I have, because he tried it and he came for men as well. But the women were the ones that he really dialed out and degraded. I mean, degraded, honey. He was comparing them, their looks. He rated them, rated them, honey. Said they were broke. Said that this is why they can't get men. Tell them what they need to do to get a man. Giving them his rules and regulations on what a woman should be doing. Saying that women need to be, basically sex slaves to their man and care to their man and do all these things that a woman should have to do to keep a man. Like, let's not do he was trying, honey, y'all. And then I said to him, you sound crazy. That's like telling a woman who was raped that she chose to be raped, or tell someone that was murdered that they chose to die. Crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I was getting shit like that in my comments on Instagram. It's crazy because yes, they went on his they went to his platforms for advice. They did. They went on there. They went to ask some questions. They went to get some feedback. They went to get his his thoughts on certain things. They did. They chose to do that, but they didn't choose to be disrespected, humiliated, degraded in any way, shape, or form. It's a difference between giving somebody advice and disrespecting them, humiliating them, degrading them, and breaking them down, which is what he did. He broke those women down. He didn't uplift those women. He didn't encourage those women. He told those women what they were not. He told those women what they need to do and what he think of them. That's not encouraging and uplifting, inspiring anyone when you sit there and you degrade and you judge. And he literally judged every individual that ever came on his platform. He judged them, and as if he was some God, as if he was perfect, as if he was the all be all. And that was the problem. And that's why people who were victims of him are not crying or not sad he's dead, because he got them fucked up. You can't talk shit to somebody and hurt somebody like that and then expect them to be sad that you're dead. And I know he don't expect these people to be sad he's dead. He knew this before he died, he was hated. And so for his fans to expect people to be sad that he hurt, to be sad that he's dead, it's a bit much. It's a reach. Because you can't tell someone how they should feel. And I feel like, people who think that are mad that the people that he heard victims of his should be sad, and should be sad and should be hurt that he's dead. It's unconscionable and it's unnecessary, and it's very insensitive to those people, because they were offended, they were hurt, they were humiliated, they were disrespected, and they had a right to be angry. They had a right to not give a fuck that he's dead. They have a right to feel that way. It's their right. You can't tell somebody how the fuck they're supposed to feel. And I feel like people who think they have the right to tell people how they're supposed to feel needs to take a good look at themselves and stay in their lane and hush their mouth. Because you can't tell somebody how the fuck they're supposed to feel. You can't tell somebody they should be sad because A, B, C, and D is gone after they done hurt them when they were sitting on this earth. The fuck? It's crazy because when he made that comment that they chose to go on there, it's no, they chose to go and get advice. They didn't choose to be disrespected, humiliated, degraded. They didn't choose to be talked to like they weren't shit. They didn't choose that. And that comment is what's said to people who are raped, what is said to people who are people's families or murderers who were murdered. That type of logic is what's used against people and to people's families and to people who are victims. Oh, you chose to be raped. Oh, you wouldn't have worn this and you wouldn't have worn that. That man would have raped you. Oh, well, he chose to die because he walked in the neighborhood and he knew and the neighborhood was bad. And, he knew the neighborhood was bad. And he still went there, so he chose to lose his life. Or he chose to go in the store with his friends and knew they was going to steal, so he chose to die. Or she chose to be sexually harassed at work because she was a beautiful black woman. Or she chose to be beaten by her husband because she chose not to put up with him disrespecting her, so she chose to get hit in the face. She chose to get her eyes black. She chose to get her nose broken. Like, what the fuck? So Tina chose to get whooped by Ike. Like, come on now. Like, this is the crazy shit I be talking about. Like, this world is crazy, and you got some weird ass individuals that think like that. Like, who chooses to be disrespected? Who chooses to be hurt? Who chooses to be raped? Who chooses to be beaten? Who chooses to die? Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, the fuck? Like, that's like telling somebody who has cancer, oh, you chose to have cancer. Like, what the fuck? Like, that logic is so fucked up. And when he said this to me in my comments, it really triggered me because I was like, how dare you? Like, how dare you? What kind of logic is that? Like, what the fuck? Child, and but anyways, at the end of the day, Kevin is gone. He's resting somewhere. Hopefully in heaven, he's resting, and his time on earth ended. And it is what it is. And the people gonna feel the way they feel. And they're not gonna change it, how they feel. They're not going to change what they think about this man. Because at the end of the day, this man left this world with a reputation that he has created for himself. He chose to hurt people. He chose to victimize people. He chose to degrade people. He chose those things. So when you choose to do those things to people, you choose the reputation and legacy that you leave behind that precedes you in death. Unfortunately. And he chose those things. And he died knowing these things. So the people who are fans, who are supporters, who are blockers, who are angry, who are mad that people are not crying because Kevin Samuels is dead, I'm gonna need y'all to get over yourself, shut the fuck up, stay in your lane, keep it pushing, and move on with your life. Because it is what it is. It's not changing. They're not gonna change their minds. They're not gonna change how they feel. They feel how they feel. Period.